Cool.
What up?
I'm JJ,
I'm CJ.
and we are the Radio Twins.
And as y'all know, this is the Radio Twins experience. We don't have to say everything together.
But
Good gracious.
Well, I was really going to say it, and I guess
But then why didn't you just say it?
I just did.
No,
you just
but-
chose to say it when I said it. So what's the difference?
No. Okay.
But anyway.
So you're going to tell them why
Okay.
what we're going to be talking about this
week?
this session?
Well, this week we're
Yeah.
going to talk about
Mm-hmm.
what it's like to
Be a
twin, triplet, multiple birth, however you want to call it.
and you have shared looks.
Right, like the ups and downs.
The crazy stories that we have that we may be able to share.
Right, and as we stated in the first
Episode.
episode, is that we are triplets, really. So, but we also claim the twin part as well.
Right.
And of course, people always try to remind us, like as if we've forgotten that we're triplets as well.
Right, like you just don't know you share your birthday with two other people.
Right, like duh. But anyway, on to the topic, and what is it like
To be a twin.
or have someone that looks just like
From
you?
your perspective, and then what? I go next?
Yes.
Okay, from your perspective.
Well,
Tell the people.
the elders should be first.
I didn't even like the way you just said that. But that's okay. Since I was born first, he was born 5 minutes after me, and 5 minutes after him was our sister.
And-
7 minutes.
Right.
We're gonna let that slide. But anyway, being the oldest, I was named after my pops. It's pretty cool. At times when I was growing up, I thought it was pretty cool, but it was really weird because our parents used to always dress us up alike, and we kind of hated it. I mean,
As we got older.
yeah, no, we hated it when we were younger. Capital
He hated
H.
it.
I hated it. But now that I
And
got
why?
it, because it was already weird that we had the same look, face wise.
It's the
Facial.
attention that you weren't used to.
I really wasn't.
Why,
wasn't. I don't.
I mean-
okay, what are you now playing? Reporter.
I could
But
be.
I don't know. It was just, for me, it was weird at first. I mean, when we were growing up, we kind of really didn't have an idea we were being dressed up alike. But I guess when we got a little older, like let's say like 9, 10, we kind of figured, oh, he has the same thing on as I do. And if me and Jay had the same thing on, my sister had on the girl version with the color to it. So if we had on, let's say, red and black, my sister would have on red and black, but like a red and black dress.
Right.
So,
To fit, to make it gel.
yeah, so it was weird, but it took a minute to kind of get used to the attention we got. But even if we didn't dress alike, we still got that attention, which was still a little odd for me. So, how'd you feel about it, Jay?
Well,
Tell the people.
I would say it was weird. Growing up, I wasn't used to the full attention, even as we got
So
older.
why was it weird?
We hear that word twin so much when we're passing people.
Right.
The pronunciation of when they get the whispering, they'll
You
go,
can hear that TW sound.
"Oh, they twins."
Or they get the laughing or giggling to themselves, or they get the point like, yeah.
Right.
So we they don't even have to say the words. It's just they know, and they and of course, when being a twin, we've almost caused accidents before.
Oh yeah, and I gotta tell this quick story. I think we were going to Morgan State University. Shout out to MSU, Morgan State University. What's up?
MSU.
We were crossing the street. This was on Cold Spring and Hillen Road.
Right, and
And
anybody that knows, there's a medium sidewalk, like I guess a medium strip in between. There's like
Right.
6 lanes. Yeah, 6 lanes. 3 on one side going one way, 3 on the other side going the other way. But in between the 6 lanes, there's this little mini sidewalk straight on down. So
Right.
trying to cross the street, as you
And
say.
I think I was more of the one in the lead, and my brother was like right next to me. I'm not sure if we had the same thing on. I think no, or backpacks were the same or something.
Something about it was the same. I think we had like now we have the same black cap on, but they're different.
Right.
But
And it was in the time of get off work traffic.
rush hour traffic,
And I think it was like 4-ish,
5-ish, pushing, yeah.
And with the traffic, they tend to zoom, I guess, to avoid the
Yeah.
light. And sometimes you say this, it's hard. And first of all, we were supposed to be at the crosswalk, and we were not at the
Right.
crosswalk. But now they have the
What are you, like a law-abiding
rail.
citizen now or something?
But anyway.
But yeah, we were trying to cross because we was a little late for class, and it was the evening class at that. And then this one guy rolled by and literally was not watching where he was going. And literally Jay had to like yell at him, "You better watch where you're going," as he's driving. And like, it's rush hour traffic. So just imagine how much of a beast it was trying to cross the street, but to literally try to cross the street and tell somebody to watch where they're going before they start a million car accident pileup.
Because I never wanted to be the one, the reason for the cause of somebody dying.
Imagine somebody saying, "Yeah, 911, blah blah blah." What was the cause of the accident? Because you were staring at
too
twins.
Hard.
Like really? So
really?
yeah.
Some of the other, I guess, weird experiences.
Let's bring it back to the MSU days.
Right.
Okay, so there we had to go to a specific office. I think it was the financial aid office or something.
Right.
I went in. My brother stayed in the hallway because at that time he was like tired and we had just gotten out of class. So, and just for those, yes, we had some classes together and sometimes we did.
Which bugged him out, and that's another story. But anyway, go ahead.
But I went in to get a pen because I didn't have a pen. My brother didn't have a pen. So I went in, young lady gave me a pen, came back out, filled out my application. But as I was filling it out, my brother was like, he had to get the same application. So he went in to the office without me, but I'm still in the hallway sitting on the floor filling out my app. So he comes back out and he has sort of you could tell he was a little pissed off about something.
And the thing, it was almost like she didn't want to, the person, I guess, receptionist behind the desk didn't want to give me a pen or a pencil, something to write with. And in actuality, you say to yourself, that's something you should have had because we're...
Right, we get that.
Right. So we were there to fill out an application. I went out and I filled it out and I explained to my brother about a pen. So I think you went back in to get it.
No, you're missing a part. You kind of explained how you had asked her for a pen, but she had an attitude.
So I came back out.
And I was like, oh, really? She had an attitude. And the first thing that popped in my head was, she don't know we twins. Because technically, you could just tell by the fact that she had an attitude, she must have given me the pen, another pen. Like, I would lose it in a matter of 5 seconds.
Right.
So, I got an attitude, and I said, let me go back in here and handle this. But then he stopped me and was like, hold on, let's just finish filling out our apps, and then we'll both go back in the office together.
Right.
So we both finished up the applications that we had to fill out. We got up, we was ready, we went into the office, but I went in first, and she still had this look like she was still mad about something. I said, here's your pen. And soon as my brother walked in, he said, oh, here's your pen. And of course, her
whole demeanor did a 360.
Or is it a 180?
Well,
yeah, no, 360 is the whole way around.
Right.
180. Yeah. She did a 180, and she literally was like,
all of a sudden you need any pencils?
You need this? I didn't know. She's laughing to herself, giggling, almost like
and
blushing.
Just
and I was like,
keep the same energy.
Yeah, I was like, no, we good.
Definitely.
And she said she really tried to have conversation with us.
Right.
Even called one of her co-workers. Hey, look at this. They twins and this, that, and the third. And, well, and on the way out, I remember vaguely you had said something about a pen.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, no, I just didn't know that y'all were twins, blah, blah, blah. My brother said again, kind of like, yo, save that energy for somebody else.
Right.
So it's just little stuff like that.
Yes, and one we probably, we get asked a lot is, had we ever switched in classes?
Yep.
And without saying too much, because we don't want to get ourselves in trouble, yes, we've done that before.
Right. Because of timing.
Yes.
Like, he couldn't take the class, but I was free those days of the week, so I could take a class for him, or I could. Well, I won't say too much like he said, but it worked out a few times. I wouldn't even say a few. It worked out a lot of times.
More times than we can count. At Morgan, there's the school store, the old school store, not the new one, the old one.
Where you had to walk down. It was almost like in the basement type of a feel.
So we had to go in, and it was really a cramped area.
Right.
And nothing like what they have now. And then
that was our first time actually ever going around lunchtime, but we knew we had to get certain books for class before these classes happened that day, and it was like the start of the semester. So we go down in there, and I just had this feeling, and I noticed my brother went on one side of the store to get, like, I think like a math book or something, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get this science book or whatever. So as I'm going over this side, he's going to that side. I was like, yo, there's some twins in here.
And I didn't believe
it. And at first I was like, nah, can't be. And yet, here I am in the store with my twin. But for the life of me, I just didn't think that there were twins in there other than me and my brother. So
Right.
I saw this other guy who just walked by me, but he had different clothes. I was like, yo, they are twins.
But
so then
let me finish.
Jay, mind you, Jay's half of the story.
Now, what was so unique about it was he saw a set of twins, and I saw him, but we thought it was the same set of twins. First, I didn't believe him, and then I saw somebody else, and I said, "Well, I saw the twins. I saw the twins you were talking about."
Right.
Come to find out, it was 3 sets of twins in that store.
Now, the reason why we found out that we were talking about 2 sets of twins that were not alike. Like, so the set I saw and the set he saw, they weren't the same set.
Right.
I get in line, my brother gets in line behind me. And then
everybody in the store.
Lunchtime, everybody has this store for it had to be a good 50, 60 people in that store.
I think so, yeah.
And clearly everybody in that store got quiet
and then started laughing.
And then they noticed that there were 3 sets of twins in the store.
Right.
Now here's the kicker. Another set of twins came down. Walking down the steps into the store. Everybody broke out.
I was just like wow.
That was a crazy moment. Like, that was like crazy.
Because up until that point, we hadn't seen other twins
right.
anywhere.
And I think even the year prior to that particular semester, because this was like September.
Yeah.
So like that summer session or even that last was a spring session before, it was like I saw one set, but it was kind of weird, but it wasn't like really weird, but it was just off. But after seeing 4 or 5 sets of twins in one setting like that, really blew my mind. Like, you'd have thought that me and Jay weren't twins, but
and I guess you could say some strange things have happened to us, because we get asked this question a lot too. Have you felt pain if he wasn't around you or vice versa?
Yeah.
And I can actually say yes.
Okay, so that day
he's trying to be the leader again.
Yeah, being the firstborn. But that day I was off and he was at work. It was during the day. It was like 12-ish in the afternoon. I had this pain in my finger, this finger.
Right.
I don't know why, but I just had, and then I rubbed it so much it got more red than it usually does, and I just figured, why is blood like really into my finger? Like, all I had to do was cut it open and blood would probably go squirting everywhere. But it was like really weird that it felt weird. It was almost cold. I couldn't explain why. I was in pain. And then about 12-ish, 12:30 in the afternoon, my brother gets off the bus. I'm going to the store.
And I'm coming home from work. And the reason why I'm coming home from work is because at the time he didn't know that I had sliced my finger and had to get stitches. But my hand was wrapped and it wasn't hot, but it was more, I had a jacket on, so I had both hands in my pocket, and as usual we always had backpacks. So when I got off the bus, it was just like he just happened to be there. And
I'm crossing the street, so there's about 5-6 lanes in the street, so I made it to like lane number 4, the median strip. And he gets off the bus, and I'm like yelling at him, like, "Why are you home?" And he pulls his hand out of his pocket and he shows me his finger, and I froze in the middle of traffic. Now, mind you,
before I pulled my hand out my pocket, he just kept saying his whole hand was like numb.
But no, I didn't tell him. At the time, I didn't tell you.
Really? I thought you did.
No, you literally came off the bus. When you saw me in the middle of the street, I froze and I couldn't move. And he was like, "Dude, get out the street because his car's coming." So as I'm moving closer to the sidewalk, and I'm like still in shock, I'm like, "Dude," that's when I opened my mouth and said, "Yo, look at my hand." And I showed him. I was like, "Well, what did you do to your finger?" And he was like, "I sliced it while I was at work."
And I had to get stitches.
And like I looked at it, he looked at my hand and saw how red my finger was. And he's just showing me his bandaged finger. So It's like, that was a moment we just kind of stood there and was just like, okay, how long? We sat there.
I think we left it alone.
That was just
like unspoken, because we both were like,
okay, let's move on.
And before we get to this next one, we're not gonna go into detail, but do understand we've always gotten this question as well too.
Right.
Have we ever played tricks on people?
Right.
And namely females. And I'm not gonna lie, Yes, we have.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I'm going with that one.
Right.
And I'm gonna leave it alone.
So that was funny.
Yeah.
That was. And now that I think about it, because I think about it from time to time, but it does get me to laugh sometimes.
Right.
Like, really? So yeah. So anyway,
I think and I think one of the in other situations you can also say too, when people ask, "Are we twins?" Some people tend to be a little scared or shy to ask.
Right.
Some people will just out and out say it. Some people have like dumb comments, like
dumb.
Right. Like one time we went into a particular store and we bought. One of us bought a set of earrings.
Right.
And as you know,
I have one hole in my ear. He has another in his ear.
And as you know, a set means 2 earrings on it.
Right.
So I purchased it, and the young lady said to me, "So what are you gonna do with the other earring?"
And I'm standing right there.
So and fast forward to gotten to the point we hadn't discovered what we're about to tell you about now.
Right.
Twins World.
They call it Twins Day.
And this is held. This is a basically a convention.
Right.
The first week of August every
year.
And we were told by we happened to be going to a mall. I believe it was Security Square Mall.
Yeah.
And we came across
2 young ladies.
And their names are Cynthia and Sylvia. We love them to death.
Yes.
And we didn't realize that they were twins. And when they found out and discovered we were twins, I mean, they were loud in the store.
They literally almost, I want to say at least 3, maybe 4 years running, they would, every time they would bump into us, it'd be, "Oh, y'all coming?" Like, "Yeah, we're coming," and would never show up.
Right.
Like, I'm not going. And to be honest, the name of the area of where these conventions take place
is
Twinsburg, Ohio. So for about 4 or 5 years running, probably longer, it was always, "Y'all coming?" We just, they probably...
We was BSing the whole time.
Yeah, and they would see us maybe 4, maybe 5 times a year.
Right.
And every time they see us, "Y'all not going?" "Yeah, we're going." And we would literally like lie through our teeth and be like...
And the last time they got us to go, it was pretty much a threat.
Yeah.
So, and we're glad it was a good threat.
Yeah.
And we went.
Right.
And at the time, my brother was trying his best to talk
I
me
actually
into
paid
it.
for the flights for both of us.
Right, because I didn't want to go. Because my first thought was, this whole thing is corny.
And at the back of my mind, it was corny. Because I was like, but I couldn't let him see that I thought the same way. Because then he'd back out, then I'd back out, then I'd be like, "No, we're not going."
Right.
So.
And once we got there, I'd say we got there like a Thursday night, or was it a Friday night? Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I say Friday evening into Saturday, I was coming around. I was like, okay.
It took a lot for me anyway. It took a lot of getting used to, because here you're dealing with we being triplets. We dealt with us, and from time to time, every so blue moon, we would run into other twins and triplets in our city that we live in,
right,
or at the mall, or at a party or something. But necessarily wasn't like a common thing for us.
Right.
But then to go to this convention, it was just like, wow, everybody here is twins and triplets, and they understand the ups and downs, the in and outs of being twins and triplets.
And what's so unique about this whole convention is it's multiple births, meaning 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and
we
fraternal
quads,
centuplets,
right? Hold up, there's twin. Single babies, but then there's twins, triplets, uno, dos, tres, quadruplets.
They get the picture.
Yeah, I could.
And the thing
crazy.
is, you get to talk to other sets of twins. You get to experience what they experience, and usually it's the same thing.
Right,
but
and most of their nicknames are what? Twin.
Yeah, and it's crazy. They have a parade on a Saturday morning. They have a carnival which lasts like 2 or 3 days.
And they treat all of the multiple births like stars. And that first year gone, we were just like, okay, we literally had a couple jump out of the car
and say, "Oh, can I take a picture?"
And they were at the light. Like the whole family jumped out of the car at the light.
And it's we're used to it now, and pretty much everybody there is family to us.
Right.
So, and of course this year we couldn't go because of
shout out fam. So we couldn't go because of the pandemic.
COVID. Yeah, exactly.
Them roam the streets now. So.
And some of the same things with the upsides of a lot of being multiple birth twins is there's always a downside. And the downside is the deaths and things like that, because there are twins who have lost their twin.
Right.
And at this convention, pretty much you have different tests.
We get paid for literally, like, do you think alike? Do you act alike?
Do you taste the same things?
Do you like the same things? I mean,
right.
Just all kinds of tests that, of course, we get some dough for. So
right.
It's like, that's another incentive to always want to go. But for the most part, the bottom line, we really go because that's family to us. All of them are family. You know, it's weird. Some people look from the outside looking in, maybe like, oh wow, that's bugged out, or that's extremely weird. It's sort of like going to the circus and you see, you know,
a dwarf or something like that.
People used to have that.
Yeah.
But when you see twins or three of the same people who look exactly alike,
they stare, point,
right.
and things like that.
So
and we've gotten used to it. I still haven't gotten used to the attention, even though we do radio. But if you think about it, we do radio. We're behind the mic. You can't see us unless we want you to see us.
Right.
And even with this, it's weird because you still are able to see us, but we're used to it.
But you can kind of see the differences. And yes, there are twins that are different. Like you have twins that one is a boy, one is a girl,
right?
Or one is short, one is tall, and they have the exact same looks.
Right.
There are differences. Like, you know, with me and him, I like certain things, he doesn't. That's one of the gists of this show, is the fact that there's some things that he liked that I could care less about. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, keep that pushing.
Right. And another plus to it is, even we said in the first show, we pretty much joined 1 year, joined Phi Beta Sigma Incorporated fraternity. And here's the thing, he 1 year, the year that I wanted to join, I was more into trying to get in, and
then the next year I wanted to get in, but he didn't want to, which was weird. And you know, and now that we are affiliated with the best fraternity on the planet,
pretty much,
that's Phi Beta Sigma Incorporated. But we are starting to realize that there were a lot more sets of twins in our fraternity and in other fraternities. I mean, and it's weird now, because it's like every time we see a set of twins somewhere, regardless if it's a regular cookout or party or something, we literally tell them about Twins Day. So you know, and
actually, even in the gym, I think that, and we ran into some other sets of twins. It's like certain places we'll run into other sets of twins, and it's gotten to the point we're cool with them. So
right, and it's not even just. It's always multiples now. Instead of just, okay, we meet another set of twins, so that's 2 sets of twins. For the most part now it's 3 sets. One time we went to Walmart and there were 3 sets of twins in Walmart, and someone pointed out, hey, did y'all see these sets? Yeah, we did. But there's 3 of us in here. I was like, oh, okay, so it's basically 3 sets of twins in Walmart. So that's the part that still bugs me out. It's like,
and you know, and it was a point in time where I used to always be, and this is JJ, I used to always feel slightly ashamed because I didn't want to always be known as a twin. But then I got to the point where I said to myself, well, it's a blessing. And we get to, of course, growing up, not all the time, you would have some who were jealous of that fact.
Right. And there were days, you know, it's not like me and Jay dress alike all day, every day.
Right. We do it for a brand.
We do it for a brand, and, you know, that's what we do. But there were days that we would have something different on, and somebody would still be like, don't y'all ever get tired of dressing alike? Hold up. We don't have the same clothes on right now, so what is you talking about? So I just literally put that person in their place. I was like, look, you do what works for you, we do what works for us. And that was in the radio industry. And they got it, and that was like the first time I ever like just kind of stepped up. Like, you're not gonna make me feel ashamed because I'm a twin.
Right.
If you don't like it, that's on you.
Right. That's their personal issue.
Right.
We live our lives normally.
Right.
We, you know, breathe differently.
Right.
You know, we like music, and we stated in the first show.
Right.
But we have a lot that we have in common.
Yes, but then there's another difference that we have as well.
What is?
He likes a whole different type of woman than I do.
Right. Mine's is more conservative.
Because that's just how he is. Conservative. Right. I hate that word conservative. I just say laid back.
Right.
Me, on the other hand, as if you couldn't tell, I'm more so like
hood.
I wouldn't even say hood. I was gonna say live. See, there you go. But no, it's not even about being hood. It's just being live. It's like I'm, you know, for the most part, he likes to play the background, and I like to play the foreground sometimes. Not a lot. Notice I said sometimes. Yeah. But the whole point of it is, it's like sometimes I put my personality in your face.
Right.
And sometimes he may do it, but more so me. Because I was always looked at as the mean one anyway when we were growing up. The mean one, the evil one, the one who gave everybody a hard way to go. I even had a little saying, but we can't get into that because it's PG. This is a PG show.
And I think one of the other questions is, has it helped us being looking alike? Has it helped? Yes. When we got hired at Radio 1 to be, when we had an interview
together for the first time.
Never thought to have an interview together
ever.
And once that took place, we were hired. Like, wow, this is a good promotional piece. That's what we were told the day we were hired.
And a friend of ours gave us the name, the Radio Twins.
Right. And as you can see, we replaced the.
Well, no, we didn't replace anything. We added the Y. Because I had to, like, as you just said, we had to put that street vibe to it. So we added a Y.
Right.
So it's RAYDIOTWINS.
And it kind of stuck.
And it stuck. And
so, what's up to Ben?
Benjamin.
Yes, he was the one who gave us that name.
Yeah.
But pretty much that is, and we've gotten a lot of emails asking, how's it being a twin, questions. And hopefully we answered a lot of them today. And
if we didn't answer it, trust me, we're going to have a lot more shows, and we're going to talk. This subject will come up again because again we have a bazillion different stories we can tell y'all about that. Just literally, we just want to kind of scale the top, just to give you a little bit of. This is what we deal with as being a twin, because we were trying to figure out maybe we should do this as the first show, but no, let's just give a general introduction. And now this time we literally give you an idea of the mindset of twins, triplets, quads,
multiple births.
Yeah.
I just sum it up by saying.
Do you say multiple births because you don't know what the 5?
No, I say multiple births because I just say multiple births.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, but whatever the case, and again, we've come in closing to the end of the show.
Right. Always check us out on theradiotwins.com. So that's www.theradiotwins.com. And as I was saying lately, I have to slow it down because we've been getting a lot of fan mail, from emails anyway, from people who are saying I say it too fast. So I'm slowing it down.
Right. And of course, this is the Radio Twins Experience. Didn't you say at the beginning of the show we didn't have to say it at the same time?
But I only said it because that's just what the name of the show is, and we can't say it without saying it together sometimes, even if we don't mean to.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, and I had another we had an email that asked, what did we go to school for? Well, we went to school pretty much for the same thing.
Up until we got to our
master's
degree.
Right.
We got the same degree in undergrad, got the same degree in the master's program, and right now I'm in a doctoral program, so that...
And my doctoral will be different from what he's going for.
So, yeah, we're just trying to utilize our school skills and what we learned in school and bring it all together.
Right.
So, yeah.
And again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always email us at theradiotwins@yahoo.com. That's THERAYDIOTWINS. We're on all social media.
At yahoo.com.
Right. And we're on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, of course, YouTube, because that's where you can find the first show.
Right.
And we do other videos for other things. We could be in the parking lot of a market or...
Yeah, just stupid, crazy stuff that we do when we are hanging together.
Little thoughts and things that we feel like we want to tell you all. So if you ever want to know, I'm JJ.
I'm CJ.
And we are the Radio Twins.
The Radio Twins, that's 2 of us.
And this is the Radio Twins
Experience. See, I was trying not to say it, but you was like throwing your hand down like, say it with me.
Right. So
we're going to let's do it one more time before it ends. The Radio Twins Experience.
With that being said, love your loved ones today, because tomorrow is never promised.
And you only got one life to live. Live it right, because again, let's just do this right, because you do it right the first time, you ain't got to worry about going back to try to do it.
Right.
Do over.
I'm JJ.
I'm CJ.
We're the Radio Twins, and this is
the Radio Twins Experience.
Check you out the next time.
Deuces.
Peace.